What's up, fight fans? This is Kirk DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Get this. Tyson Fury on fights with Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk. He says, I'm not optimistic. Tyson Fury has some serious reservations about the prospect of him seeing himself against Usyk and Joshua, and the WBC titleist from Manchester offered a dim prognosis of those compelling heavyweight matchups. Fury, which is 35, has a long history of boondoggled talks with Ukrainians Usyk and London's Fury. Fury was in lengthy negotiations with Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship for the past year, but the two sides repeatedly failed to come to terms. At the moment, Fury is preparing for a crossover fight using boxing rules with UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou October 28th. And this is what he had to say. He said, "We don't really know the reasons why Usyk didn't take the fight in April," Fury told Sky Sports. "I'm sure he got his reasons." Then we found out he signs with Skills Challenge Promotions, the Saudi Arabia boxing people. Whatever his reasons are, I'm sure it's to suit him and his family. It is what it is. I do believe that you can only do what you can do in this sport if the fight's available at the time you take them, and if they're not available, you can't take them. Will we fight in the future? Hopefully. I'd like to. I always believed it's an easy fight. If I fought for years and years and years, me and Joshua would have fought each other, and he's not been wanting to do the challenge for years. Fury said, you can't force someone into doing something no matter how much money there is or whatever there is on the line. You can't force someone to do something that they don't want to do. Unless both parties are willing, then these fights don't get made, as we've seen it over the years. In the last year, I've tried 2 or 3 times. It's always not happened for whatever reason. I'm not optimistic. During the negotiations this year, I was very optimistic. During negotiations of this year, I was very optimistic, but there was a lot more stuff going on. After that, I was like, it's not happening. I even bet with Frank Warren 1,000 pounds, but it wouldn't get signed, and said it would in a week, so I won the bet. Anyway, let me counterpunch. Some key words I want to point out for you guys, and it makes a lot of sense. Tyson Fury said, well, hey, he said, I've tried 2 or 3 times. If you can't make a fight, the fight's not going to happen. You know, if it's available, if the fight's available, they either happen, but it takes 2 to tango. Right? We don't know the reasons why Usyk didn't take the fight in April. I don't see why Tyson keeps talking about the Usyk fight, because if I'm Tyson Fury, I would let that alone. Leave that alone. You've lost. Tyson, you didn't want that fight. You made that fight impossible for anybody that wanted that fight. Okay? Usyk wanted that fight. He took 30-70. You knew he took 30-70. There was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong with you in the rematch clause. See, that was the last hang-up, which that was something very small, because that didn't even concern the fight we were talking about. That concerned the next fight. That concerned the rematch. But even with the rematch, Tyson Fury wanted a rematch. Just like he wanted a rematch if Francis Ngannou knocks his head into the 4th row, into a popcorn bucket of somebody eating popcorn, okay? He wanted that, okay? So that was his problem. So he started, after the 70-30 was granted in his favor, it was agreed by Team Usyk. You guys do know that Tyson Fury started then complaining about something that he created. Well, how about there's no rematch clause? Well, if there was no rematch clause, Tyson Fury, and you all of a sudden didn't want one, why are you talking about, why did you put it in the contract? That's what happened. You mean, look, this is what happened. Tyson Fury put it in the contract, right? And then start complaining about split. I want bigger split. I'm the A side. I'm the cash cow. I'm the king. I'm the gypsy king. All that shit. He started, that's what he started ranting about. Okay. And then when Usyk took that to a screeching halt, what did he do? He then had to stop that rant, you know. This is how it sounded like. Look, you're not worth anything. You're not worth 60. You're not worth 40%. I'm worth, you know what? You're worth 30%. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, that's right, boy. Yeah, Dad. You're worth 70. You're worth 70%. 70% we take. 30% you are. That's what you are. You only are 30%. That's what you do. You take that. Okay, Tyson, I'll take 30%. Yeah. What? I'll take 30%, Tyson. Fucking hell. What do we do now? Well, what about the rematch? Yeah, the rematch then. That's the rematch. That's right. It's the rematch clause. Ha ha. That's what it is. We don't want a rematch. How about that? And then what happened? Well, you guys wanted the rematch clause. We didn't give a shit about a rematch clause. Well, how about this? You're going to take 30% on the rematch clause if you win. What the fuck are you talking about? And see, after that, it became ridiculous because that wasn't even, none of it was fair. Okay. None of it was fair. Okay. But when Tyson said, and this is what broke it. When Tyson said, you're going to get 30%, 30%, okay? You're going to get that if you win. Because there's only a rematch clause, right? If Tyson loses. Tyson wanted 70 fucking percent if he lost. So you mean to tell me this? You want this man to take 30% of 100% pot, which we don't even know what that is because we don't know how much it's going to sell. We don't know the pay-per-view numbers. We don't know anything. We don't know how much they would have made. But whatever it would have been, Tyson Fury got 70% of that. Okay. And then Usyk beats you. That means if Usyk beats you, then he has to agree by the first fight for the second to still take 30%. And all they wanted was, okay, well, why don't you take 30% if you lose, and we'll take the 70% when we beat your ass. And he said, no. So people, understand, Tyson Fury is the last person that should be asking about why didn't Usyk and his team take the fight. They didn't take the fight because they knew you didn't want the fight. You didn't want the fight because you had other things up your sleeve. You had easier people to fight. You have the same old fucking tune, song and dance type shit you had going. Francis Ngannou is just learning how to fucking box, and you want him in the ring with you because you're scared of an ass whooping. Typical chicken shit. And for me, this is my thing about Tyson. People have short memories when it comes to boxing. That's the good thing. I don't. I'm hardcore. Okay? I'm like my dad says about Bernard Hopkins, hardcore. He's hardcore. Hardcore. So that's what I am. I don't forget shit. So since I don't forget shit, and I understand people do, I take in other people's consideration that, hey, things happen, people duck people don't want fight people, that's what it is. But don't keep bringing this shit up. Just shut up. Fight Francis Ngannou. Don't talk about Joshua. Stop talking about Joshua. And he mentions Joshua because he knows Joshua's an easier fight because that's the guy that beat Joshua twice. Counterpunch. So I think, if anything, Tyson, something up here, it has to be, is bothering him about Usyk. And I think it will always bother him about Usyk. He knows that. I don't know why it didn't happen. I don't know why these guys don't want to fight me. I'm not very optimistic. I would like to fight them one day, maybe. We'll see. See, that's the shit that one of those fucking voices in Tyson Fury's head is telling him, you're a fucking coward. That's the problem. That's it. The problem is that voice, one of those voices of 487, that one is telling Tyson, you're a coward. That's why he keeps talking. That's why he can't shut up. You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury not very optimistic about fighting Oleksandr Usyk or Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!